Yes, people. What are you telling me? Today is Never Fouls Transfer News at 5:30, as we did last week, by the way. So we're keeping it consistent. And, you know, I can't believe what we done today. Can you have a guess what we did? Have a guess. Any guess? Even someone.
Are we on time?
Oh my God, we're only 2 minutes late. We're only 2 minutes late. I think we need an award. I think we.
That's a Mo gender.
That's yes. You say, Mo?
I'm just saying, people, these two keep making fun of my accent all day long. They keep telling me it's all right, it's okay.
I mean, it's okay. It's all right.
All day long.
It's kind of strange.
It's like,
to be honest,
from waking up till I go to bed, the last thing I hear, it's all right. It's okay.
It's
the first thing I hear in the morning.
Kind of strange.
What would be worrying, is if, like, at the weekend, say one of us, me, was to have another a friend over, a female friend over, and you hear from the room. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it's kind of weird.
I don't know.
I mean, it was all right,
but yeah.
Someone is asking where I'm from. You cannot tell from the accent. It's
no. Well, you.
By the way, don't believe my accent. My accent is nothing like the way Mo actually sounds.
I think it's kind of close.
Well, your accent is all right, to be honest.
No, to be honest, it's okay. Kind of weird, but
it's okay.
Oh man, let me big up some people in the comments. I ain't done that in a while. There's some people before, but we can't see them as chats disappear before the stream actually.
Why does it do that?
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't keep them for some reason. It just makes them disappear, so you can't even read.
You should look into the settings, see if that's a settings thing.
Jake Ansel says you ain't getting Caicedo. You would have got him by now. You slower than Arsenal when it comes to getting deals done. You're not even the best team in West London. Never mind London. So yeah, man. There you go, man. Jake sounds like a.
Chelsea are the biggest team in London. Period.
They're not the big. Whoa! They're not the biggest.
Fan base or trophies?
There's a difference. Don't say biggest. They're the biggest club in London, but trophy-wise, they also have the most trophies in London.
They have 2 Champions League and 2 Europa Leagues.
No, I think Arsenal got more trophies.
Arsenal have got more trophies.
It's not about the number of trophies. You can have Mickey Mouse trophies all day.
Hold on, who are you saying? Chelsea? Yeah, Chelsea aren't the biggest club in London. They're not.
In my opinion, they are. When you get 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, definitely they are.
Chelsea have. You could argue that Chelsea have been the most successful team in London, not the biggest. The most successful.
Okay, so the most successful team for me is the biggest club.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of strange, but okay.
Big up Elder K. Big up Oscar. He says Chelsea should pay 100 million to just get it done, whatever. Yao, a Dark Crow as well. Noz is in the building. Says smash the likes if you ain't done so at the moment. Make sure you do it. J-Man says an on-time stream. One of our members, if you want to become a member, it's in the description below, or you can just go find it on the channel page itself. We got Sophia, BX Gunner, Pablo, Calby, KLFC, Nermal, Austin, Anfield Lad, and Yusuf, and many, many more, man. Avic as well. But we're going to talk today as apparently, allegedly, rumors stated by reports that Chelsea don't want to go above 80 million for Caicedo. And I wonder what the alternatives is, because there's not many DM options out there that I've seen on Chelsea's agenda, because Lavia set the sign for Liverpool if this bid gets accepted. 45 million package should be enough. I don't know if Southampton are going to be stubborn to want that to go up to 50.
Well, it pushes what we said yesterday, that if Chelsea, instantly by Chelsea saying we're not willing to go over X amount for Caicedo, that instantly pushes the price up on Lavia for Liverpool. Because now Southampton are like, okay, someone else is coming to the party. So it could complicate it for Liverpool that little bit, I would say.
And then we got Man United news, who is going to be securing a DM by the looks of it at this moment of time. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, though. But at the moment, Amrabat's been left out the squad for Fiorentina in pre-season, which is kind of strange. And also, 60 million bid package from... Well, actually, should we do it? I'm not going to do it in euros. I'm going to do it in pounds. £50 million package for Man United, but Atalanta want around £60 million as a package or in total. Not 70, not 80. That's being rumored. Funny how it's, Fabrizio, David Ornstein's tapping. It all works in circles, doesn't it? It's just like Man United are going to bid, and then they say no, but this club wants this much, and then this club's about to prepare this fee, but now they only want that much. Where journalism, right?
Well, I've said from the start, that these journalists, they 100% get money off of agents. I don't care. Like agents feed them information and tell them, and I honestly believe it. They get a little backhander.
This is illegal, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually illegal.
Okay.
It's absolutely illegal. Like Fabrizio, the whole point of that Fabrizio fight with that Brentford guy was that he told him, do not ever say that I take money because it's illegal. I'll go to jail for it.
So do you think, so based on that, and I can imagine it would be illegal, but are you saying you don't think it happens?
I don't think it happens. I think
cool.
I don't think it happens for many reasons.
Well, when you watch, here's a
journalists
in
out there.
Abu Dhabi. Bro, come on, man.
Yeah, man. Of course it does. To think that no illegal stuff goes on in the world of football, that probably the most corrupt sport in the world. No illegal doings? Oh, come on, man. Don't act oblivious to it.
Yeah.
Next time you see,
Daps, you will know about
the first thing you want to do is bring City up. Yeah, I'll cry more with your cry more with your broke ass club, bro. Listen, my club would never go in and offer another club that my club would never go in and offer another club that has a project going. £12 million for a World Cup winning goalkeeper.
We are a joke, but we're not. We are a joke, but we're not corrupt.
And that's why you're calling us corrupt. Have we been being corrupt?
We are a joke.
I mean, you're part of the Italians. Pretty corrupt.
Yeah, Italians are pretty.
We are the only team that is not corrupt in Italy. I like to believe that.
You keep believing that.
And the last part, obviously, we probably could touch up around Tottenham as well. Just a little bit towards the end. But if you haven't got
and City's friendly, we've played a friendly. We can talk.
Yeah, and City's friendly. Yeah, he smashed them. To be fair, Tottenham. Charleston smashed them. You lot. Oh, it was 2-1 in the end for City.
2-1, yeah, 2-1.
Who scored the second
but
goal?
to be honest, City
Laporte.
missed about a lot of chances.
Yeah. But you know what? It was even Bayern. Bayern looked very similar to how they looked last season. That they looked really threatening on the counter until it got to literally in front of goal. Then they don't look threatening at all. And it's just, that's because Sadio Mane, absolute legend of the Premier League, but he wasn't what Bayern needed. They've replaced Lewandowski with Sadio Mane. It doesn't work. Like Sane was creating chances and whatever, and it's just if I'm a Bayern board right now to bring this back to the Premier League, I'm looking at that game and I'm going, F me, we need Harry Kane. Just go and get Harry. If today was an example of go and get Harry Kane, because go and get Harry Kane, and all of a sudden, Bayern start cook again. They really can start cooking again. Just in front of goal, they just look so. And by the way, that goalkeeper that you want, Mo, or your club,
he's absolutely. He's 35 years old. They cannot play football anymore.
You've replaced. You're looking to replace a 24-year-old goalkeeper that is sensational with his feet with a 35-year-old that literally falls over his own feet. It's mad.
I know we're not talking about Harry Kane today now in this show, but guys, have you noticed that Daps always pushes the Harry Kane thing towards Bayern if he doesn't want him to go to Man United or something? Did you?
I mean, you're trying to do a Mojenda, but the fact is, bro, the whole world is saying that Bayern want him. Like Bayern's board have been to have meetings of Man United's.
Yeah, it's right. He's only going off what's being said, right? To be fair, Man United ain't done nothing.
Don't try and bring me into your
Daps,
Mojenda.
You're not gonna be scared a little bit if Kane goes to Man United.
No,
not at all.
No. Did I even think, bro? I've told you a million times. The only thing I'm scared of is my team not performing at their optimal.
Yeah.
Every other club can sign who they want. If we perform at our best, then we win.
Mojenda in full effect, people. By the way, I'm going to go check the likes. There's 360 of you in the building. We need another 115 likes for more charges from City. So if you believe there's some charges, we need another 115.
What happens
when
we beat those charges? What happens? What do you say then?
We need 115 for people making 115 false allegations. Yes.
Well, yes. It's okay.
I mean, it's okay. It's all right. All right, 10 minutes in. Let's go. Caicedo, we might as well start off with the Chelsea stuff. If they don't go, all right, 80 million is a substantial amount for a guy that's probably only played a season and a half, or as much as Lavia, pretty much, right?
The truth of it, yeah.
If we're going to go off I know Chelsea fans say we're going to get this done, and we know Alex wants this done as well. He's been very vocal that I'll pay 100 million for this guy as well. We need him. He'd probably suit them to a T. I know there's a refusal for Chelsea to pay that, but I think they go above it because did you not see what the Zerbi was saying on the in his comments in his conference?
Yeah, he's like, we're happy to keep Caicedo. He's gonna be it. I'm only worried about his attitude, but he's our player, and we're not in a rush to sell him. Well, it's a message to Chelsea Football Club: pay up, or he stays with us, or he goes somewhere else.
Let's look at Caicedo. Caicedo was very heavily rumoured with the link away from Brighton in January, to the point where I believe he actually came out and said, I need this move, and, I want this move, I need this move. It's for me and my family, this is massive. He didn't get the move, right? What was his performances like between January and May?
Good. Played right back.
So good. And it's very similar to I say on Bernardo Silva, right? That you can only go by a player's performances after they've not been given what they want. So he wasn't given what he wanted, but he didn't down tools. He carried on playing, right? So I guess from Brighton's point of view, Brighton are going to be like, okay, well, at least we want to sell him. But I honestly think Chelsea want him too much, man. I'm sorry. I don't believe Chelsea. I think this is part of negotiations. I think they're thinking, do you know what? Liverpool seem very advanced with Lavia now, so there's not too many options for Caicedo out there. Let's walk away from the table for a minute and let's see what happens. The only thing is, because they need so many players, is that a wise thing for them to do right now? Like, the season's getting closer.
I think it's smart. I like it. Why I like it is because I want to revise this back to Man United because we spent over $1 billion in the last decade and we've basically achieved nothing, all right? For the size of the club and the ambition of the club, even for the fans. We've seen Chelsea spend loads and loads of money, right? And it hasn't worked out the way they probably thought it would. And then they sold a lot of people. Sometimes you need to trust in your recruitment or whatever it is to say, if you can't get this one, there's an alternative. Because if they start paying up the money that is wanted, then the next club they want to negotiate with is going to be like, no, but you paid up for this guy, so we're going to hardball it because we know you're going to pay up. Everyone thought Man United was going to end up paying 70 million for Mason Mount. Everyone thought that Man United was going to pay up this amount of money for the next player that we got in as well, like a Nana. You could say the same for Man City. Look what Leipzig are trying to do to Man City. I know you need a defender. You're going to make Man City like that.
Even more than that, bro.
I think it's smart for them.
Where you could compare City and Chelsea is if you look at City when under Gary Cookmore, so when we first got the money and we were paying whatever and giving wages, we were probably giving some players wages that were more than we're giving players now. And that was like 10 years ago. Yeah, that's how mad it was. But it got to a point where we then had to go through a couple of seasons of having to do what Chelsea are doing now and having to play hardball and that's why now we do walk away from deals, because I think our owners spoke on one of his interviews, or not our owner, our chairman, Khaldun, spoke before on interviews and said, we worked very hard to change the way we're viewed in the transfer window, that people no longer think, City will pay whatever. And therefore, we can never go back to doing that, because if we do, we instantly get labelled with that as well. And I think based on the last, based on a lot of Chelsea, but in particular, the January transfer window, everyone thinks you can just tell Chelsea whatever they want and they'll pay it. And so I can imagine Todd Bowley and even their new sports director have spoke about this, and Todd Bowley said we need to change because my pockets aren't that big, right? So we have to negotiate. I think they're doing the right thing. Like I said, they'll know that there's only limited clubs after a DM now, and they'll know that it gets even more limited when you're talking 70, 80, 90, 100 million, right? There's very few clubs that can pay that. So they are in the driving seat to a certain extent. It's just at which point do you, we said this yesterday, bite off your nose to spite your face? Like, because the season is getting close and Chelsea don't have too many midfielders. So they can't push this till the 1st of September, can they? They've got to start the season, right? This isn't one that they can go, oh no, we don't mind if we don't do it before the season starts. They need this one in. They've got Liverpool first game of the season. They go against Liverpool with this midfield.
Before we move on, guys, the like button, I need 250 likes. If you have this and you have your live chat, okay, you close the live chat and then the like button is right there. Okay, just hit that like button for me, please. Get me to 250 likes. It's embarrassing that we are on 150 people here and we're only on 120 likes. The like button helps us move to the next person. If you are selfish and you want to watch this channel by yourself, don't hit it. But if you want this channel to grow bigger and more people to watch, please hit the like button. This is the best way to describe it, to be honest.
But Cass, you hear what I'm saying there? That some things you can go, do you know what? It's not a necessity. Say, for example, you could say with Mahrez that right now, City, do I want to replace Mahrez? Yeah. But we've got players that can play in that position, so we can start the season knowing we've got till the 1st of September to get some deals over the line. But
100%.
Chelsea can't do that. Like, they literally haven't got, I mean, of course, they can pull up some youngers and whatever, but they need some players. And they've got Liverpool first game of the season. They don't want to lose to Liverpool. This is a big game to them. So I feel like, yes, they've got to play hardball, but it gets to a point where you've been playing hardball since the window opened. You probably need to start being a bit more, unless literally they've got another target. They might have another option.
I have an opinion about Chelsea that they need not only Caicedo, they need another midfielder as well with him. So they better get that guy in quick so they can go for the next target before it dries out. And teams, the problem is teams are going to get comfortable with their players. And now teams are going to say, no, we use this player in the preseason. Yeah. We built our plans on him. You cannot have him. Well. Yeah. So you better move in now. Even if the Zerbi says he's our player as of now. If he because you never know, he might convince Caicedo to stay one more year and tell him, listen, your value is going to go up. You might get more money if you stay with me. We are in Europe. They are not in Europe. We're playing Europa League. If you win Europa League, we'll go to the Champions League, and you're going to be a Champions League player.
I think the other
instead of being at Chelsea.
The other thing is that you're right with that.
I disagree, man.
Before the transfer window, before the preseason starts, you've kind of got a player where. If I look at Bernardo Silva, for example, you've got a player that was away on his honeymoon, was not round the rest of the team, was, I'm not going to say you're gonna forget what it feels like to be part of the team, but you're away, so you could be persuaded. The minute that player gets back around the team and is around his mates that he spent the last 9 months with, all of a sudden he starts to embed himself back into these are my mates. I'm back around my mates again, and then. And I'm not saying this is a big deal. I'm really not. So I don't want to hang on it. But it is that Caicedo could be like, do you know what? Actually, I am quite happy where I am. My wage is quite good. And I don't need to.
And I'm sorry. Brighton isn't like West Ham. Like Declan Rice gave his heart to West Ham already for 4 seasons. They won a trophy for the first time in like 50 years, if I'm not mistaken. But Brighton are starting a new chapter. So they can convince him to stay at Brighton for now. People don't like that, but it might happen. And also, Caicedo didn't come out and say, I want to go to Chelsea. He's like, yeah, I want to move and everything. But he was willing to move to Arsenal. Remember that. Just 6 months ago. He was willing to go to Arsenal. He doesn't have his heart set on Chelsea. If someone else come in with a good offer and a good project, who says that Caicedo say, yeah, I might choose that club. He wants a big pay raise, right?
Yeah, no, you finished?
I'm done. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna go along. No, not in a rude way. I have to disagree.
We need signals in it for when we're done.
I don't think Chelsea need. Like, remember, maybe want is a better word. I don't think they need a centre mid straight away because. They haven't got rid of Gallagher yet, and he's going to be using different forms. I don't know. He could be the energy for Poch and might have to switch up. Let's say Enzo does get injured or something like that. Once they get DM, I think because the youngsters, I think today would be a good way to assess the youngsters when they play Newcastle. It'll be a good way to assess them through the whole of pre-season and then maybe decide if Caicedo needs a loan or anything along them lines. So that's why I don't think Chelsea need to buy a centre straight away. I think they got the whole of the, because they're doing the one game a week, they can wait till the end of the transfer window to assess what they need, really and truly, or what they want. So I think Chelsea don't need it because realistically, I think they're 11 currently right now after they get a DM, whoever it might be, they're going to chase Caicedo. Imagine chasing the guy for 7 weeks. You've just done what we done to Frankie de Jong, right? Man United, it's the Frankie de Jong saga all over again if they can't get this deal done. So the way I look at it is that they're fine for now. They do need to get some recruitments in. They need probably get another striker. Maybe they're going to get Kudus. It's looking likely they're going to get Kudus at this moment of time and go get a DM. And I think it's okay. They don't need to get everything in one window because then we'd be criticizing them again for saying, but you got all these players since last year and you're not doing nothing with it. Maybe they can just chill out because we all praise Newcastle for chilling out and not getting everyone left, right, and center. So you have to kind of apply the same logic to Chelsea this time around. Sure. Not trying to get everyone left, right, and center how they did,
But would you not say that Chelsea maybe need a few players a bit more than Newcastle do? Maybe it's that I guess that depends on your objectives. I
think Chelsea's squad on paper is better than Newcastle's.
In my opinion, I actually respectfully, Cass. I'm sorry. They basically have now Conor Gallagher and Enzo Fernandez and just 3 youngsters: Chukwuemeka, Andre Santos, and Caicedo.
You just missed out. Are you talking about centre mid DMs, or you didn't go to include?
I'm talking about midfielders, 3 mid. I know that you want to say that Nkunku is kind of a midfielder, which is I believe it can happen.
Midfielder. When you say midfielder, what I'm trying to clarify is that are you going to count the 10s or are you going to discredit the 10s? As in, say, I'm talking about.
So the 10s. Who are the 10s? Like Nkunku only? Is that what it is?
Chukwuemeka, maybe Gallagher.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. They have Gallagher. In my opinion, I don't consider Nkunku as a midfielder. This is just my opinion, my personal opinion. I consider Gallagher midfielder, Chukwuemeka midfielder, Caicedo midfielder, and Enzo and Andre Santos. I believe that Caicedo, Andre Santos, and Chukwuemeka are not ready to play week in, week out in the Premier League. And you cannot go into the Premier League, even with 1 game, with 2 cups, with 3 first teamers, which is going to be Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and Conor Gallagher. You'll need 1 more. And then you can integrate the youngsters every now and then. But I believe that Chelsea Football Club need Caicedo and another midfielder. The reason why I say that is that I am not assuming that everybody's going to be fit for 38 games plus 4 games for this cup and 4 games for this cup. That's about 46 games. I think that's too many games for you to have 3 first teamers and 3 youngsters at 20 years old and 2 19 years old. I believe that no team should go to the Premier League like this. And if you want to go back to the Champions League, you have to account for injuries. And injuries mean you have to have another first teamer in, at least someone with experience. And even though Caicedo, Enzo, Gallagher look okay with Nkunku as a number 10, I think that lacks a lot of experience, Cass. They need an experience. They had Kante, who's injured. They had Kovacic. They had Jorginho. These are experienced players. They can take these players' hands. Yes, we can call Enzo a good player and everything, but he isn't experienced player. They need someone with experience. I don't know who it is, right? Also, in the defense, they only have Thiago Silva. You said Chilwell, you said Reece James. I'm talking about the spine. The spine means a centre-back, a midfielder, and a striker. They don't have anybody with experience in that midfield. This is what I believe.
I have, again, I'm going to have to fling it back the way I need to, yeah? I've seen, my experience, the Trippiers and everything for Newcastle. But Newcastle done their net, done the absolute, I don't know, man. But I didn't think it was going to happen. They just done the I don't know, what would you call it? They done the unexpected, right? They went from bottom of the league to finishing in a great way to then getting top 4. For me, if Pochettino is as good as people make him out to be and the way he works with youngsters, they only average it. I think someone said it. They only average in 3 games a week. They can go assess it. They don't need experience for me because Enzo's got an experience in a year in 6 months in the in the Premier League, and he's always experienced Champions League. He's already experienced the World Cup. Caicedo's experience in 1 year with Brighton and a half, and they're only just playing Premier League ball. They're not playing in Europe. The way I say you need experience is when you want to go win the title or go win a major trophy.
Do you know? I'm just going to take this
sorry,
off.
Daps, can I say?
Sorry, can I just
and then you go on?
Go on.
I think the way Chelsea like laying out the project is that it's not only that they want to improve. You can only improve in 12th position. You want to get back to the Champions League, means the 5 first spots. And the way I'm seeing Arsenal moving, Man United moving, Man City are where Man City, Liverpool are moving, I think Chelsea need to catch up to them. In my opinion, you said Newcastle. Joao Linton is 26 years old. Bruno Guimaraes is 25 years old. That's what I mean. Like, they need at least someone 25, 26 years old. That's what I mean. It's not only about improving from 12th to 9th or 8th. You need top 5.
Do you know what? I'm just...
So Arsenal, oh my God, protocols said it exactly what I was going to say. Arsenal had Partey, Xhaka, Jesus Zinchenko and that, but then you look at Thingy Kepa's experience, you could say, and he's not the greatest player in the world. Thiago Silva's experienced by now. You know, they have got players in and around us. Sterling's experience. He's won trophies like Thiago Silva. You know, I'm probably missing a couple of Nkunku's definitely experienced. It's exactly the same thing to Arsenal. So again, like I said, you have to apply some logics.
Yeah.
Other ways, like Newcastle. Now you have to apply the logic. Look at Arsenal fans when they boast about our average age is like 24 years of age. Now we look at Chelsea, and I know it's a bit young at Chelsea, a bit younger as well, because again, all these
much
players
younger.
They've got captain material still. They've got people that have done it. I don't think they need Reece James's experience, Chilwell's experience. Are we going to forget all about that? Kukure's been in the league for a couple of years now.
I mentioned that. I said the midfield need experience. This is the most important part of the game.
You can afford to not have experience for at least 1 year to gain that experience. Not with the youngsters, but your Enzos and your Caicedos the extra year, and then Nkunku and then Gallagher. Gallagher's been around for a couple of years now as well. You know, if they keep him or not. You know, they have got the players in place to you know.
Do you know what I was going to say was? I was going through our comments on the show yesterday, and there was a few people that were actually commenting that maybe sometimes there's a mad one as well, by the way. A man like Nacho Daps. I'm referred to him as Dips or Nacho on every comment. And then one of you two said why, and he said, smells of cheese, lol, joke. Mainly because if everyone starts to call him Dips or Nacho Daps anytime he has a cheesy take, it will trigger him. There's an easier way to trigger me. Just talk about City, honestly. If you don't need to call me weird names. But I was going through the comments, right? And there's a few people yesterday saying that we are putting a bit too much emphasis on the importance of leader and someone having leadership skills and experience. And we're putting not enough emphasis on skills and ability. And I get what Cass is saying, that for me personally as a City fan, I'll look at Arsenal and I'll say Arsenal have got enough skill. Arsenal have got enough ability. But if they want to, when it gets to the business end of the season, be able to hold their nerve and win a trophy, that's where I think they need leadership and experience. But I get what Cass is saying, that with Chelsea, no one believes that that's where Chelsea are going to be this season. With Chelsea, maybe they don't need that. They actually just need ability. Like, ability is more important, because you've got to be clear. Thiago Silva is a leader. Like, he's going to lead them. They've got Sterling can be a leader. I do get what Cass is saying on that maybe for a team that's not trying to compete to that level, experience is less important. It's about having the ability on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Pyramid Scheme becoming a new member. He's a funny guy. You can probably tell by his comments as well. We're going to be talking about the memberships by the end of the week, hopefully on Sunday, if not Monday.
Yeah, but, someone get some more viewers in here straight away. That number needs to change. 666. We can't be having that. No.
If you've just come in here, make sure you smash the like
button. Like now and move that.
But yeah, back to the Caicedo thing, since this is about transfers. Do you reckon Chelsea keep lowballing it, or do you reckon Brighton are just not going to budge anyways?
90 million to get it done.
90 million. Does Chelsea pay it? Does Chelsea pay it?
Yes.
Chelsea pay it?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. 100%. I believe that they're gonna get their man. In my head, by the way, in my head, Caicedo is a Chelsea player. Yeah. In my head.
I feel like unless well, look, if we really think about this, on Sunday morning, did anyone think that Elise had a 35 million release clause and was going to be linked with City and Chelsea? Right. Yeah, probably not. Right. So right now, we're all saying, the only options are Lavia, Amrabat, Caicedo. But there are other footballers that play in the DM role, right? We just haven't thought of them. We haven't spoken them. There's probably people in the comments right now that will start typing names of other targets. It's just that haven't been brought to the forefront yet. So but I do think unless we see one of those names come out very, very soon, I'm with Mo. They're going to get Caicedo done because it's gone on too long, bro. It's gone on too long. Like
way too long, man.
We've been on here. Remember when Chelsea started the transfer window and they got a lot of players out for good money? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were saying Chelsea are having a really good transfer window as far as they're doing what they've got to do. They've cleared the decks. They're listening to who Pochettino doesn't want, and they're getting money for them. Now they've got to go and spend that money because they've got some massive holes to fill. And it's getting to a point now where it's like, okay, well, we started off saying you'd had a great transfer window, but now it's a bit worrying because unless Poch is literally looking to start a load of youngers, you need to start getting some signings in. So, yeah.
You know, I hear it. I think they probably do get it done 90%, but a part of me thinks they might switch targets because I would like to think I just want Chelsea I don't want them to do it. Like, I don't want them to get Caicedo. Of course I'm not. But I would like to see something different, like saying, okay, if you're not going to do it, then forget Caicedo, stay there for another year. And guess what? We'll get him next year then maybe, if that's the case. I got an odd feeling they're going to switch targets. And I think Palhinha might be it. Because it's like, I think Palhinha is exactly what they need in midfield as well. I don't think they need, don't get me wrong, I like Caicedo's way of playing. He's a perfect all-round midfielder. But when I think of Chelsea, I think, where's your brute force in there? That midfield needs brute force as well. There's no brute force tacklers in there. And I think someone that's going to impose themselves somewhere. That's just a shout.
You know what? Even I know it's under Frank Lampard, yeah, but I did a watch long on DR for
Oh, sorry, Palhinha's out for how long?
I did. No, it's a dislocated shoulder. It's not going to be that long, is it? It's a dislocated shoulder.
It's a dislocated shoulder. I think it's like a few weeks.
Dislocated shoulder, unless it's changed. Yeah, I watched the Real Madrid v Chelsea game in the Champions League, right? And that is what was so clear to me that they were missing was any sort of physicality. Like they need you know what? You go back to say they need an enforcer. They need an enforcer to allow Enzo and everyone else to play football. Enzo needs an enforcer next to him, 100%. You look at Argentina in the World Cup, yeah? Like everyone said that the reason why Argentina was so successful is that Messi, Enzo, and a few of the other players were allowed to play their style of football by having the enforcers there, right? And the dogs and the enforcers that did their job, right? To allow your Messis, your Enzos, your Alvarez's, your Di Marias to play the football they play. Your McAllister, to be fair, but he's got a bit of dog in him still. But that's what I think Enzo needs that round him so that he doesn't have to do that. He can just be the pass maestro. So we'll see, though. We'll see.
You can go and buy Rodrigo de Paul from Atletico Madrid. He'll do a job.
Someone said Zubimendi. I love that shout. Charlie Costa says Chelsea more shirt sales and
social media.
Social media.
I think that's against Arsenal, isn't it?
Arsenal, of course it is. He can help himself. But yeah, man. I think some Chelsea are probably split. Like I think Isaiah says it. They're convinced he might get him. They might not get him. So it is what it is. I suppose you're probably going to find out in the next couple of weeks because Fabrizio's just been recycling the same tweets over and over.
We can't see another created picture of Caicedo in a Chelsea shirt that isn't actually real.
My cousin's already made about 4 of them.
Bro, there can't be any more.
If anyone says CFC Vidic, that's my cousin. He made like.
Well, I wonder if someone's
I've been seeing Caicedo soon since like April.
But I'm wondering if Fabrizio and maybe your cousin should hit him up. Has someone that does all of that for him?
Yeah, no. So Fabrizio's already got one. His name's
got one. Yeah.
His name's what's it? I can't remember. He gives it an L. I follow him anyways. But yeah, But moving on from the Chelsea stuff because there's not much else going in that other than playing tonight, which we're going to talk about tonight at 10 as well with Kendall and Greasy Don as well. So we're going to be talking on the game before it happens on Man United.
10 p.m.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Talking of DMs, let's talk about Man United DMs that they're potentially going to be securing in Amrabat. They're saying around 21 to 22 million pounds of what Fiorentina is asking, and he's been left out of the squad for the upcoming friendly game. Who's saying
best value for money in the Premier League? 21 million pounds to get Amrabat. Best value for money, in our opinion. Yeah. I'm not saying he's better than Rice. I'm not saying he's better than Caicedo. But talk about value for money. Amrabat, from what we have seen in the World Cup, what we've seen in the Conference League, what we've seen in Serie A, 2 finals with Fiorentina, leading that midfield in a position-based team in Serie A. Fiorentina are the second or third team in ball position. And hear me out, they are tied 6 in the best defense in the league, and they play 4 in the back. And Amrabat is the protector of that defense. So I'm not hyping him up. All I'm saying is that I've watched the guy. He is good enough for that Man United team.
Look, so I watched him only, I'm going to be honest, during the World Cup. Thought he was very good. Don't understand why Liverpool didn't go in for him, but then someone said Fiorentina wouldn't sell him.
Chelsea would be perfect.
Yeah, to be fair, but maybe at the time Todd had just arrived and he just wanted to splash cash and stunt. But I didn't deep it. So Cass, you probably paid more attention to this. Yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, in our Never a Foul Twitter chat. Anyone that wants to be in the Never a Foul Twitter chat, message Cass and he will get you added to it.
It is a good chat. It's a very good chat.
Very good chat. Very, very good chat. Always active. But Pablo pulled up some stats, I believe, yesterday, comparing Amrabat to Rice.
I did it, but yeah, go on.
Was it you?
Yeah, I put both graphs.
They didn't.
What are the conclusion? Tell me the conclusion.
Well, from what I saw, there was a lot of red for Amrabat and a lot of green for Rice.
Yeah, message me on my Twitter, MEFC or you can go on Instagram. It doesn't matter, either or.
Cas, you've probably got them sharing, but they were pretty in favour of Rice.
So, no, they're actually different. So, defensive duels, Rice beats him. But when it comes to progressive carries and progressive passing, Amrabat wins. But you could say, and it was per 90, by the way, not per game, per 90. You can go on SofaScore, which was one of them, and the other one was Scorecard as well, and you can see what type of stats you want to see. Since people love to do the stat game these days. The thing is with Amrabat, he plays in a very high-pressing team that plays a high line in Fiorentina, right? The whole point of a Milinkovic-Savic. And there's also the guy who just, Igor, that just went to Brighton as well. So that's going to be a very good buy. So Colwell is not going to Brighton, that you can scruff that out anyways, even though it's not linked anymore. You could say Fiorentina, but the only thing is, it is in a different league, and Rice done it in the Premier League. But the difference is Rice, when I saw Rice up against Amrabat in the final, I saw Amrabat more than I saw Rice.
And you have said that from before United were linked.
I'm not saying, I mean, they are very similar. And I think they're probably on the same level as ability, but maybe Rice, because he's a bit younger, his ceiling might be a lot higher. Does that make sense?
Also, we prefer Rice in an 8 role, not a 6 role.
I like Rice in the 8, and I think I might prefer Amrabat in the 6 because I like 6s that can pass the ball very well. Rice is very good at progressive carries as well if he's allowed to do so. But this is only based off last season. Because if you go watch Rice's game the season before, you'll see different stats. And this is why I like Rice. But it's like, I'm not going to compare who's got better value, because we all know if you're going to get a similar player, or someone's ceiling is higher, it's going to, I'm not being funny, 21 million is still right. And obviously no English tax and all this kind of stuff, yada, yada, yada. But I think what is the case for Man United and the 21 million is that, one, they're getting another good deal over the line if it's going to happen. And also along the lines of when Casemiro needs a rest or he's got a red card, Man United's in safe hands, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. Because I think the backup DM is pretty much nearly as, you could say, is nearly as important as the striker right now for Man United. And you never really say that in depth, because you can always use Rashford there and get goals and stuff. But when there's no Casemiro, Man United's drop off in form. And I don't think it cares what striker you got. You're going to struggle if you're going to keep putting McTominay there or trying to double pivot up with Eriksen and Bruno to just do a job or something.
Well, that's big facts, you know. That's big facts. No one ever talk on that. But the one thing we keep saying about United is that even if United get Kane and get
Hojlund,
that the drop-off, the key with United is best 11 and drop-off. So I get what Cass is saying there 100%. We saw it last season when Casemiro wasn't playing, the drop-off was mad. And it also actually allows you, if need be in certain games, to play Casemiro and Amrabat together and all of a sudden shore up the defence even more. So, yeah, I get that. I get it. And 21 million, let's be clear. 21 million.
There's no loss here. There is no loss here. 21 million, they sell him in 2 years. They make their money or even more.
Let me ask you this, as well. Actually, no, I'm not even going to ask you. I'm going to state this. When it comes to DMs now, right, with Man United, for the way I'm looking at it, in depth and quality, you got Casemiro, potentially Amrabat, and also Kobe as a youngster to, fill in his trade if he needs to. That's probably the best in the league in depth overall, because I'm yet to see, and that's only from a view from now, because you never know. I still rate Calvin Phillips, and I think he can't have a worse season than he did, and he's going to get more games. Rodri's still the best I'm not saying Nick Casemiro is the best DM.
I'm not even talking about City, bro. I'll be honest with you. I hear what you're saying, but then I'm looking Partey, Rice, Jorginho is also a damn good range of DMs.
I'm so glad you said that. I was waiting for it. I rate Casemiro more than Partey, and this is not. And this is
so do I. So do I.
So this is me taking off my bias hat. I rate Amrabat more than Rice, and guess what? I don't really fancy Jorginho like that. I'm gonna put Kobe Mino over him because he's got legs alone. There you go. How about that? I think Jorginho's washed. Done. Because I think Rice is an 8.
No, I prefer Rice as an 8, but the one thing I would say is that Rice can also do the 6 role. So I hear what you're saying. And I do with what you're saying fully with that. And I'm on Calvin Phillips. Yeah. I'm still waiting to be proven about Calvin.
Moving on from Amrabat to another guy for Man United. Man United don't want to budge and pay more. They offered 60 million package for Hojlund, euros. Atalanta wants 70. The difference is 10. I've seen it before with Mason Mount. At the end, it will land in the middle or something like that. But my question to Cass is he worth 65 million euros after 9 goals in 32 games in Serie A?
No,
why are you paying that much money?
Bro, it's just we all buying potential these days, man. I'm seeing Balogun 50 million, 50, 60, whatever. Hojlund's not worth that price. He's not worth that price. If we're being totally honest, he's probably worth half of that.
If Balogun goes to Inter for 35 to 40 million pounds, would you be okay for 60 million pounds or 55 million pounds for Hojlund? Would that be overpaying or not?
Right. Yeah, no, we're 100% are overpaying. And there's no doubt about that. Like, the only good fee for a good, decent striker, I think, from this season alone, this summer alone, is probably Jackson for 30 million. That's what you call buying potential properly. So Chelsea got something great there. But Man United, and he's probably more experienced than Hojlund. Hojlund, for me,
know what?
You have to buy the potential. That's just, it's a buy. It's a seller's market. And you can't do nothing about it because you look around. We say this every other stream, if not every week. You look around there. What is there? What are you going to get? Someone says, but you should just go get Evan Ferguson. I'm like, oh my God, he's only going to cost about 70, 80 million. Guess what? He's only
Premier League experience. That's straight away, yeah. But do you know what? You've got to look at it. And can someone tell me his numbers last season? Because I know nothing about
9 goals in 32 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Wrong. I'll keep going because he played in different leagues, remember, before he went to Atalanta.
All right. All right. Let me not be a stat merchant. I know he hasn't played in the Premier League, and that definitely increases Lavia's the fact that Lavia has had a season in the Premier League. But we have to be real in this market. Forwards forever in football. Forwards, the further forward you go up the pitch, the more the player costs. Yeah, which isn't right. Realistically, maybe it isn't right because if a team needs a goalkeeper more than anything, then he should cost a lot of money, and that's what it should be based on. How much does this player need? And how much do we want to sell? That is ultimately what it should matter about. How much do you want the player and how much do we want to keep the player? And that is where the fee should actually be. But Lavia is a DM, right? And 50 million people were talking. So 60 million for a young, unproven forward. It's not mental. In this market, it isn't mental because Lavia has had 1 season. I get it's Premier League experience, but he's only young as well. He's only potential. He's played for Southampton, and anyone that tells me they watched every Southampton game and they know exactly how Lavia played in every single game is lying, right? Unless you're Matt Letizier's son, you haven't done that, right? So people are basing that on potential. So I think 10 million more for potential in a forward, but those numbers sounded stinky. I'm not going to lie. 9 goals.
Numbers are confusing this. If Havertz is 65, how is Mason Mount only 60? How is Amrabat 21? And how is Rice 105? And Caicedo only 85 or 90 million? And Hojlund, like, how numbers are really confusing. And how is Kovacic 25?
It just shows you that marketing's probably everything to do with it. It's their value off the pitch that everyone's going.
How is Jackson half the price of Hojlund?
If you want to put context into it, right?
Yeah.
So you was actually right, Mo. Altogether, Hojlund had 42 appearances, 16 goals, 7 assists in 2,500 minutes.
But that's when we're league. I don't get it in that Belgium league or whatever.
So if you want to do, but if you want to do it there as well.
Are you talking about all leagues or all?
Overall, and if you want to do it there, 32 games, 9 goals, 4 assists in 1,800 minutes. And in 30, when you try to break down 32 appearances in 1,800 minutes, as Ganzo's saying, he said 32 games is misleading, 9 GA, 9 goals.
A lot off the bench or something.
Yes, he wasn't even a starter, by the way, because there are two.
That's massive, by the way. That's huge.
Yeah. Either way, it's true. Atalanta are taking us for a ride. It's the same guy negotiating. It's the same one that got 80 million out of us for Maguire. You know, so he's gonna. Yeah, it is.
How the hell is it the same agent?
I'm not knocking down. I'm not saying Hojlund is bad. I watched Hojlund a couple of times. He is a very good footballer. Good touch, not bad. Very quick, rapid. He's a good footballer, to be honest. And Man United can get a lot out of the guy in the coming years.
The way I look at it is this, right? So, if he fits the profile and you've done your scouting correct and you didn't go for the name, he's probably worth the money, right? That's what Arsenal fans say. If Havertz fits the profile for what Arteta wants, he's gonna slot in and he will thrive, right? It doesn't matter what the price is. Same with Declan Rice. If he's 105 million, even though he's not worth it, they definitely overpay for the guy, but it is what it is. But if he slots into the system and makes them win trophies and stuff, you know, then they're doing something right. And that's what you're paying for, is the potential to go and win and do something more, right? And that's the market of today. Next year could be a totally different market. You could have 10 bad boy strikers that have hit that potential that they needed. Someone fresh comes to the boat or something like that. Because look here, Nunes
supply versus demand, bro. Supply versus demand.
Yeah, and you can look at it again like this as well. Because I don't even want to defend it too much, because I think it is still too much regardless. Nunes came to Liverpool for, I know it's about 85 million in total or something like that. He scored over 30 goals in his first season or some crap like that for Benfica. And look how he performed in the Premier League. By the end of the day, he's 20. At that time, he was about 22, 23, and they bought him for the potential of what he can do more. And it's okay because he can give him some time. That's the way you have to look at it. And I know he didn't score 30 odd goals, but you know, like Serie A, it's not a bad. If you're coming to the bench and you're burying nine goals and 4 assists in 20 years of age, you're 6'3", 4", and you're absolutely fast and rapid. And you're a dog in the box.
You just actually summed up. This is what's spot on with it. The scouting. That what we're doing right now. I guess I asked numbers. So what I did just then is I said, Cass, give me his numbers. And I was going to base my opinion on his numbers. Where actually the job of a scout is to actually go and scout, not go and look at the numbers. It's to go and actually deep what this guy offers and how he could fit into Ten Hag's plans. So yeah, I get that. And I can imagine with the way United's budget is at the moment, he must have ticked some boxes. Otherwise, Ten Hag wouldn't be entertaining it, right? So,
yeah, I've got a question quickly then for Hojlund. For anyone that's here right now, what's a successful season if Hojlund is to join Manchester United for the 55, 50 million, whatever the package is, right, around them figures? What's a successful season for his first season in the eyes of, you know, rival fans or Manchester United fans?
Half a goal per 90 minutes.
So can I? All right, you know what you're doing. You're going beyond what I'm thinking right now. Goals for the season. How much? How much is a successful season?
Depends. It depends if he plays every game or not. Like if he's your starting forward, at least 15 to 20 goals.
So it's the same respect that we put on Nunes.
Jesus. To be honest, it's the same thing I said about Jesus last year, which is probably unfair. But putting the way Jesus play, I said 15 to 20 goals. I thought he would get 20 goals, but he got injured. I said Hojlund, the difference between him and Nunes is Nunes was coming from 25 goals a season the year before at Benfica. This guy's coming from 9 goals, so the progression is 15 to 20 goals as a starting forward for Man United.
How many
starting forwards? That's the thing.
How many Premier League?
But if you tell me he rotates with Martial or he rotates with Harry Kane if he joins Man United, I'm not expecting 15 goals. I'm expecting his impact to be 10 goals. To be honest,
I'm expecting. From a United perspective, I have to keep the same energy out for Nunes. I think I said about 12 goals from Nunes in the Prem. He has to hit those numbers for me.
My friend, Nunes played Champions League, Cass.
I think 15.
No, but he just said in the Premier League, bro. He said in the Premier League.
So
what I mean is that Nunes had more experience than Hojlund, Cass.
I don't care. I'm holding Hojlund in high regards. The same way we probably remember before he joined, Man United wanted Nunes, by the way. So in the same regards, I think I don't want to pressure it because he's a kid, innit? And it's hard not to, but you come for a price tag and there's a hype around you. I think 15 GA, so that's goals and assists, I think that's good enough, especially when you got Rashford, Bruno, and all these players, the new players, Anthony, Sancho, whoever now, Mason Mount, you should be hitting that. You should have chances to bury at least 15 goals. And you got a goal scorer next to you called Marcus Rashford. If you are as good at linking up play, then surely you can chip in with a few assists. I think that's
for me. I always like doing like what's that app there's an app where you can really break it down on players, and I like per minute. I really like per minute because I think per minute gives a far fairer idea of what a person's achieving than overall season, because if someone's had injuries, you can do per minute and actually work out how effective he's been on the pitch. But I also think it's key to what his game is like, because I had a lot of Arsenal fans asking me about Jesus and saying, can he get 20, 25 goals? And my answer was, your team's output will go up by 20, 25 goals. And that's what you should be looking for. We don't know what he's being brought in. If he's being brought in as an out-and-out goal scorer, then yes, you want him to get the numbers. But if he's being brought in for his link-up play just to improve the output of Man United, I don't think it's fair to put a number on him, because if your output, if he arrives and he's one of the only forwards to arrive and your team's output goes up, then it would be fair to say he's had a positive impact on the team.
Yeah, Nunes, by the way, had 9 goals and 3 assists in his first season for Liverpool.
At 23 years old with 2 seasons.
He didn't have a bad season.
Anyway,
he didn't have a bad season.
No, he had an okay season.
He got okay, guys. Over 800 of you here. Can we hit that like button for us, please? The like button look like this. It's free. It helps us push to the next person. So please, if you want this channel to grow and you like the content, hit that like button. And also a couple of members or 1 member added. So here you go. Ganzo's saying 32 games is misleading, 9 GA in 1800 minutes. I think Cass did that before. And a new member, welcome to the Never Fall family. Presto the first. Presto is that to become a YouTube member. Thank you. If you want to check
hopefully
membership,
the second and third follow.
It's in the description. Moving to Lavia for the last part. We spoke about him yesterday. Liverpool don't want to pay the 50 million valuation for him. They submitted the first bid yesterday. It's 37 million, got rejected. Reports are saying they're going to offer extra 5 million, 2.5 in the original fee, and 2.5 as bonuses for that. So that brings it up to 42.5 million pounds for him. I think that's fair enough for Lavia. That's a good valuation for him. Is that the one they need? Probably yes. As of now, if they keep Fabinho so he can learn and they can mold him into the DM they want.
They're saying Fabinho's actually gone now as well. Like it's all been.
So they need another guy. They need someone else, and we'll talk about it later.
He did say Liverpool. I know they did say this. To be fair, I think it was Paul Joyce. He said, I think it was him. Correct me if I'm wrong. Along the lines of the Lavia is separate from the Fabinho. Because remember, they were chasing Lavia before they did Fabinho. So if they don't get rid of Fabinho, they might go for another DM, or they might look in a different direction. I just don't know who. You know,
that's where it's getting intriguing now. That even with Lavia, you don't know that Chelsea might get involved in Lavia now if they're really off the table with Caicedo. So this is where
I think Liverpool are going to close on that.
They have to.
Oh no, I hear you, bro. But listen, if Liverpool are being, you've got to remember earlier in the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. The rumors were that Chelsea had agreed terms and done all that with Lavia back earlier in the
Arsenal
season.
Did as well when Partey was rumored to leave. Arsenal did as well. Yeah.
That kind of would tell me that Chelsea were showing an interest. Yeah. Even if it's just showing an interest. If they're saying we don't want to go up to the valuation of what Caicedo's, and they're hearing on the grapevine that Liverpool are about to get Lavia over for 42 million, why would Chelsea not go, do you know what, let's go in with 48 million and blow them out the water? Why wouldn't they do that? If they need a DM and they can't get Caicedo, I would personally. Yeah. If my house fell through and I saw that there was a very similar house that was actually worth half the price of the one that just fell through, I'd go and put a cheeky bid in.
Yeah, so the club can open a kindergarten next to them, and then after training, they can go all and learn there.
I think Liverpool have done too much groundwork, and Lavia's probably been in talks, and the personal terms are probably all done as well. I think it's a Liverpool player. I think it's done now. It's 45 million. It's not far off 50 million. To walk away from Southampton to reject that is pretty stupid. They're not going to get that from nobody else. Otherwise, someone would have just put 50 million in by now. 45 million is a top notch, and Liverpool are just about overpaying in my opinion anyways, but they just want to get the deal done. And that's just like most teams. Like I said, it's a seller's market. I think it's okay and respectable. Man City get their 9 million. They receive 36 million, and it's done.
More income to you, Daps, out of nowhere.
No. We're just corrupt. It's
going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player for them.
Yeah, I'm sure we will be. Anyway, later on, can we please talk about the City game?
Yeah, later on we will.
Later on.
We're going to be talking pre-season stuff at 10 anyways. With
I was thinking it can fit in there.
Agrees it on.
I'm going to talk about Rico Lewis.
Yeah, we can talk about Rico Lewis. We can talk about
Cancelo.
We can talk about Costa. Why are you shouting?
The mic is far.
He's more excited than you, Daps.
Cancelo.
Yeah, that's a bit better.
He thinks he's going to get me rattled by talking about Cancelo, I think.
I think he is.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm actually going to give props that Cancelo's good.
Yeah,
I can get you rattled other ways, but not Cancelo.
Pause.
Right, wrap it up then. Ooh.
What? Why?
You wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand.
See you at 10. See you at 10, people.
See you at 10, people.